up, and this is going to be like 5 minutes of me straight up blabbering hyper-focused nonsense before we actually start the game. Sorry about that. Hello, and welcome to Random RPG Maker for Super Lesbian Animal RPG, or rather, Super Lesbian Horse RPG. Did you know that this famed random LGBT RPG Maker game that I like originally started as a My Little Pony fan game years before, and that was actually how I discovered it? This is something I'm super mega hyped for, and I hope this will be one of the best episodes ever, and I can just constant streaming praise and none of the negativity I normally have. Like, I'm exhausted of me not enjoying RPG Maker games. I'd like to enjoy one now. But yeah, this is what I've been planning since the start. This is what I'm actually kind of nervous about, because I actually haven't played the final version, the Lesbian Animal version. It's been one of those things, like, I'm so hyped for it, and I didn't get the chance to play it on release day. I was there following it, and the early release demo came out, and I couldn't play that. My computer died, and I hadn't yet got a new computer. And you know, it's like sometimes things just throw you off your groove, and it's really hard to get back into it. I was like, oh, something went wrong which stopped me from playing the game at the earliest possible moment. I've failed the game now. Or what if now I've been hyping it up for so long and I finally get the chance to play it? What if it's not as good as I expected? What if something bad happens? What if something gets in the way of me playing it? What if I'm suddenly interrupted by a meteor flying from space? And yeah, so now it's been several years since this game came out. Even though I backed the Kickstarter and followed the Patreon and everything, I still have not played it. And that's why Random RPG Maker is going to be helping me play it, because one of the other reasons I haven't played is, like, I was like, I have to finally finish playing the MLP version, because I never finished it back when I played, like, I think I was my late teens. I definitely wasn't a kid, but I was like early in my days of exploring RPG Maker. Oh, let's go and tell you a story about that. I actually first discovered this game because of a development post talking about making the game, and it was so interesting that it made me actually want to play the game, even though it's in a fandom I know nothing about. I am not specifically MLP, the generation with the bronies and the clopping and stuff, the one where it had the big crazy fandom. I got kind of put off by that, and also just, I watched the first few episodes and it seemed really average. It's like not my kind of thing. I'm more of a, when I was a kid I liked G1 My Little Pony, and it's like, oh, that season they went on fantasy adventures and like fought monsters sometimes and like met trolls. And I was like, oh, this season is more like slice of life stuff with them hanging out in the town and learning moral lessons and stuff. And like, oh, in the prologue they sometimes fight, in the final episode of every season they sometimes fight, but it's mostly not going on big adventures. Like, that's just not personally my kind of thing in a show. Not knocking in any way all the people who actually like it. Like, I just have personal taste. You guys have totally different personal tastes, and I'm sure it's actually great when you do get into it. But anyway, me knowing nothing about that season of My Little Pony, I just saw a development post about making this game. I was like, so much thought and love has gone into making this game, I really want to try it. And I played it, I was like, this is amazing, this is so fun. I have no idea who any of the characters are, or if this is accurate or not. Is this a crazy out of nowhere fan game? Is this not? Then I read more of a development points. Actually, oh, it is. It's the ponies in an alternate universe and stuff is going on. Like, great, wonderful. I'm getting a whole perspective of the changes here. I'm going off on a ramble here. I'm really excited and really hyper-focused about this game. But yeah, I played it, and then I stopped around, was it the first or the second time you meet Jarvis? He was my favourite character anyway. I've got to remember that. I'm remembering to mention that my favourite character is Jarvis here, because I may forget how to pronounce his name correctly. Sometimes I say it Javis, and I know that's because I played another game in the Random RPG Maker Marathon which had a character named Jamis, or Jarmis. It's Javis! It's pronounced Javis! I was getting it wrong the whole time. Yeah. Anyway, your development post said it rhymes with Davis. So, I'm going to forget that, but you should all remember that in the audience. Anyway, I got halfway through the game, and I just generally didn't know much about the characters or what's going on, and also I got a little bit scared about a glitchy dungeon. I'm a bit of a wimp like that. And so I'm like, I want to go back and finally finish to get the full, every context of everything before I go and play the final remake version. I haven't even explained what the final remake version is. This is a game that was originally a My Little Pony fan game. It was remade into a totally original game with the creator's original characters, and also I'm really happy and proud to hear this. She came out as LGBT between the making of the first game and the second game, and now it's like a big exploratory experience where, like, apparently has a more serious plot and like development and talking about transitioning and depression and all these things. That's great, because the original game was just purely a joke game, and it was going to actually be more of a joke game in the original. I just sprinkle in facts about the random dev vlogs along the way. Apparently the original final boss is going to be horse ebooks, that old meme. All I know is it's no longer that. I don't know what the final boss actually is, so that's why I've got to finally finish the My Little Pony version so I can play the full amazing updated version with wonderful sparkly sprites, and everyone is now different animal furries and stuff, and it's really cool. Also, I also forgot to mention, this game is not NSFW in any way. It's in no way a sex or a fan service game. That's one thing a developer I remember, she said like very early on in the devlogs, I was worried about the name. Would people think it's like a fan service thing just because it has the word lesbian in it? And then she spent years trying to think of a better name, but in the end the really self-explanatory funny name just kind of stuck. And it stuck so much it's still there even in the remake. So yeah, it's just purely a funny, comedy, cute game about some lesbian characters who exist. And they're My Little Ponies, or they're not My Little Ponies. We are playing the My Little Ponies version, and I've got two hyper-focused in a circle, and I've forgotten that's what we're doing. We're now going to do that. Also, Javis is there! When we get to Javis, I'll talk about Javis! I love a title screen theme! Oh, that's another fact I can give you. The final version, a totally different soundtrack by a different person. I have no idea why it wasn't mentioned in the devlogs, but for some reason they couldn't have the same composer for the songs for the second one. I don't know if like they vanished or they fell out with each other or they couldn't get a licensing issue, but yeah, so that's why it's like another good and great reason I'm going to be showing both versions, because there's version exclusive awesome songs. Another fact about this title screen, apparently the title screen for a long time was a meme edit of the show of a pony with like a different thing edited to be on their butt instead of a cutie mark, and then it was changed to actually be a logo later on. I could load my old file. Where even was I? I was at level 5 at the Ferucian board, and I don't remember where that was. This is not my original save when I quit. This is when I tried to replay this in like 2020 or something, and I didn't get far then either. So I'm going to be starting from the beginning, so I can't remember where on earth I was. Finally, a game which has a good button tutorial. It's just like making fun of the fact it's an immersion breaking tutorial. This series has really great humour. You're gonna love it. It's all about meta humour, so it doesn't in any way break the immersion of the game, because the rest of the game is gonna be like that. There's jokes with Fluttershy like, oh, well, you can't see the fourth wall of my house from here. Oh, this is just a tent that's drawn on the ground and stuff. It's great. It's wonderful. And I'm really excited about playing the final version, because apparently it's all that crazy, funny humour and also genuine, wonderful emotion and an actual full plot with developed villains and stuff. Anyway, I should actually read this. It actually has a button to toggle between full screen and window. Okay, 1,000 points to this video game and this video game alone. Oh, and you can actually rewire the controls. You can even use a gamepad. This game is like pretty old. It's actually pretty ahead of its time. I think it was like 2012 or something. Anyway, let's go. And I love the fully unique sprite stuff. You're going to see me gush even more when we get to the final version, because it's this kind of poppy, wonderful, unique style, and also much bigger resolution with more complicated character designs. I really, really like the creative little walking sprites for the horses. Like, again, I don't really know or care very much about this fandom, and I'm still like, that's a really cool design for like a non-humanoid equine character. And they seem to be modified from what they actually are in the show. It's unique chibi proportions and stuff. In the devlog, it was also mentioned by the creator. Originally she was going to use a popular copy-pasted set of sprite edits for the games that people were like spreading around as freeware. It was like a Pony OC Maker or something, but then she went and sprite them all herself. And I really like how they do the hair floof for Fluttershy, how it looks differently from every side. Oh, it's not mirrored on each side, so that's one missed opportunity there, but I'm not going to dock points for the game for that, because barely any games actually do that. But I made the effort to do that when I was making my own Dr. Snap RPGmaker edits, which I'm never going to use because I don't have the skill to make a game. Anyway, I love how bubbly and poppy it is. I love the creative, like, minimal shading, but you see, like, a really great shading on this, like, flowing top here. It's great. It's wonderful. I love a little bed here for her pet. As I remember, she has a pet called Angel Bunny, and again, I don't know anything about the show, so I don't know if that's canon or not, but this is a bunny bed where my cute little bunny friend Angel Bunny sleeps at night. He's not here right now, though. He's probably playing outside. I also really like that you can wander around and get inspect dialogue from almost everything. I remember that. Yeah! I was gonna say, I remembered you could stand up on the bed and look at the poster. Oh, did they take one out of this video? My mind recalls the truth. My limited edition autographed Rainbow Dash poster. It's number 1 of 6. Rainbow gave everyone a poster like this last year for Horse Christmas. She then said it was just a joke, but Applejack said that was just damage control. I'm the only one who actually hung this up for, well, obvious reasons. So So yeah, that's also the thing for this game, is it's apparently a fan game for a ship of 2 characters from the show. I, again, have no idea if the ship is like anywhere close to being canon, or if it's a popular ship or an unpopular ship or anything. I probably won't have much commentary on that, but that's the ship, is these 2 characters, whoever they are. And Fluttershy is a shy one, and Rainbow Dash is a sporty one. That's all I've gleaned from actually playing the game. I remember, again, I was also mentioning the devlog, is that joke was originally using the actual term they have in universe in the show for the equivalent of Christmas. I can't remember what it's called, like Perth swarming or something, but I just thought it'd be funnier if she said horse Christmas and like just made this game really meta and weird. Whoops, looks like I left my laptop on overnight. I guess I might as well check my messages on Tumblr. Maybe I got some good questions to answer. I love how animated the sprites are too. I had to keep going. I did the devlog. She said this. Yeah, in the devlog, the creator was talking about how difficult it was to get fully animated poses for different things working in certain situations later in the game, where you had to have like multiple characters like coming together and meeting and stuff. Like, oh, we have to like secretly swap out this character for like the 2 of them touching was one sprite, and like you had to like align them perfectly correctly so that people wouldn't see that like the original character, one of the 2 characters had turned invisible and the other character had taken a sprite on that was just both of them together, and it was for somebody stealing a book from somebody else, like running into them, bumping into them and getting a book. We'll get to that when we get to that, but I really like this little pose here of her sitting. And again, it's like, really appreciate that. It's so rare to see games with non-humanoid protagonists. It must be so much more difficult to make sprites for custom animations like this because you have no frame of reference. There isn't like, I mean, maybe that original like My Little Pony based sprite did already have reference for this. I don't know. I've gone off topic. Anyway, I also really love the style for the little portraits. I love how scrunkly and weird their faces are. I love how they do the eyes with little hearts in them and everything. It's a really unique way this artist draws this particular art style. Apparently they don't really look like this in the show. They do have these really small snouts that's barely visible as horses though, but it's very different. We can already see here this artist and someone who would go on to draw different types of animals like foxes and rabbits instead later on. It's a very scrunched up face, even more so than the already scrunched up faces. Now let's see. 5 people asking for hugs, delete. 1 person saying my ears are weird, that's not nice, delete. Yeah, it's a very unique way of drawing the ears, and I like that. I like a little fluff on the inside. It reminds me of classical unicorn drawings. 3 people asking how I got so cute, delete. 2 homophobes, delete. 1 R-rated question I can't answer, delete. 3 very strange ponies I should probably be worried about, delete. 2 people asking what Rainbow and I do for fun, oh, delete. And 1 nice question about animals I might actually answer. I think I'll save this question for tomorrow. Yeah, that's another... I should have like a jingle like dun 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 for devlogs, but that's another thing. Apparently this person, before she made this game, she ran a Tumblr blog role-playing as these ponies, and that's like a reference to that. She used to get mean messages on there or something. There's also 1 later on, there's like a poster that was referencing a particular mean argument in the fandom, which I didn't understand, but we'll get to that when we get to that again. I have such a nice view of the lake from up here. I should wait until we get to the point mentioned in the devlog rather than being like every devlog from the beginning. I'm really hyperactive. I hope you guys can tell. Oh, I can see the fish splashing around from up here. Oh, hello, fishy friends. Is this how annoying and obnoxious I was when I was doing the Reno Burrow game? I just like, games made by my friends and games that are really my kind of jam, I just get equally hyped up about it. Again, big praise for this game. It's really my kind of jam despite being a complete genre I'm not used to in any way, in a fandom I don't know about. It's just like the style of writing and art and what's going on is just exactly what I love. I'd wave when they probably won't notice me. They're a very busy fish. I love that. I love the charming sense of personality you get too by just walking around the room and checking on stuff. This is a green screen where I shoot answers for my Hit Ask blog, Fluttershy Replies. I think that might be the actual name of the Tumblr blog that exists. She actually runs a different Tumblr blog nowadays called Thank You Ken Penders. She's the one who did the big coverage of the Ken Penders lawsuit and the myth busting and stuff like that. She had a whole article, I think, on the medium.com about that. That's like the thing she was most famous for, and it happened so long after making this game. I keep forgetting it's the same person. But she also just has a regular blog called Ponet where she posts about the game and general art and stuff. But yeah, you got like both lucky and unlucky to stumble into making 2 very popular blogs, and like I guess she must have like got very mean messages, but also knowing you've made such a positive impact on the fandom, I hope it makes it all worth it. I'm very popular on the internet, you know. Well, she is. She didn't know at this moment she would become so popular. Actually, it's kind of terrifying. Okay, talking about exactly what I was mentioning, I guess we're getting a direct pipeline to the developers' thoughts on this. That's actually kind of terrifying that the game is reading my mind. There are thousands of people constantly judging me and everything I do, and I get so many creepy, invasive questions every day. Oh, damn. I kind of hope she didn't. Oh, no. The internet's a scary place, and the immortal words of my favourite philosopher, there's some bad shit on the internet that's really bad, little b. I also don't know who that's referencing, but again, praise for this game. Even if you don't get the references, they're still funny. That's a great thing to do with reference humor. You make a joke that's funny regardless of whether you know what it's actually talking about. And it's surprisingly difficult to actually do that. I'm not good at that. I'll just be like talking about arcane knowledge highly specific to Dr. Snap and forgetting half of the universe doesn't know that. I keep all of my books on animals on this bookshelf. I have a lot of those. There are just so many fascinating things to learn about animals. For instance, did you know that more than half of the world's rabbits live in North America? Oh, whoa! I didn't know that North America was even a place with a lot of rabbits, let alone all of them. I don't know what North America is, but apparently there are plenty of bunnies there, and that's just great. It's also great pacing. They're slowly sprinkling in the meta humor in this first room, and it'll get more and more insane as the game goes on. Oh, and I also keep my record collection here. I've still got my old records that I mentioned on my blog. And these are all, I'm probably not going to read all these out because I don't know any of these except Mystery Skulls on the Friendship Express. It's presumably a reference to Mystery Skulls and also something else because the rest of that, it's highly specific to have 3 M's on it, so it's probably referencing something else, but I don't know any of the other ones here. Horse for Band is really funny. I hope that's a reference to a real band that's actually just called Horse for Band. That would be hilarious. But since then I've also added some new music to my collection. There's going to be more puns, right? Oh, I do know Daft Punk, but Daft Pink, that's funny. Oh, and Studio Killers, but Rodeo Killers. That's nice. Studio Killers made a song about being a lesbian who's shy to confess to your crush and ruin a friendship. So, very fitting reference here. I don't know if that song had already come out or not by the time this was made. Oh, I'm so hyperactive. I forgot that you gotta hold... See, I always forget to hold shift to run, even though you always hold shift to run. I usually always set it to auto run whenever I play a game. Let's see what's on my to-do list. But while my New Year's resolutions are still here, I'm making good progress on a few of them, especially the Buddies one. I haven't made quite as much progress on the Get Ripped one. That's a reference to the soundtrack of this game. For some reason, the title screen theme was called Fluttershy's Quest to Get Ripped, or something like that, and I don't know what the original reference was or why it was called that, but that's what it is, and this is a reference to it. Hooray! A lot of memes in this game are ones that you might not understand because it's something highly specific the creator just said on Tumblr someday with her friends, but I don't know. Doesn't look like I have much to do today. How nice. I guess this means I get to take the day off. Oh, I know, I should spend some time with Dashi. I've been so busy lately we haven't had a chance to spend a whole day together in weeks, so I've really missed having her around lately. Well, that settles it. Head over to Rainbow's place and see if she wants to do anything. I'm sure she'll think of something fun to do. I can bring in devlog knowledge for that one. Apparently, a Viscel cutscene here where like it's mandatory and Fluttershy stops and says it. And originally before that, there wasn't this expository dialogue at all. It was just like the developer's like, okay, how can I make sure the player knows that the first thing you have to do is go to Rainbow Dash's house? And eventually her solution was just, we have Fluttershy say, and we give a justification here of like, oh, one of them's been out of town for a while and they haven't seen each other for a while, so they're going to have a date. I think it's got a totally different introduction to the final one, actually. There's also a prologue comic for the final one. I'll show that when I get to that. I'm getting so distracted, I'm so sorry. Yeah, this is the one I didn't get. This is a reference to some particular angry fandom event which happened in My Little Pony on Tumblr. I've since looked it up so I can explain it now. It stands for Down with Molestia, and it was just a blog where the entire joke was, what if we pretend one of the horses is a rapist, and every joke was about the horse being a rapist, and people in general were just like, that's a really gross, cringy joke, and then people got really angry about like, oh, you're censoring me by saying you don't like it and not wanting to look at it, and I'm like, it's totally logical for people to just not like a very, very dark joke. Yep, that's all I have to say about the corner of the house. Yeah, this is one of the exceptions to it being funny despite not knowing the reference. This is one that it just really confused me when I was younger. It was like, the whole joke is she refuses to explain what letters stand for because it's a very controversial and awful thing that happened recently, and like, people will get really mad at you for not liking this stupid horse blog about horrible sex jokes about the horses. So, the joke is she's deliberately censoring it in-game while also having a big poster of it. And that's as far as I can understand from all this complicated fandom politics for a fandom I'm not in over a decade ago. The fireplace makes my house all warm and toasty in the winter. Also, I'm definitely afraid of going anywhere near it unless absolutely necessary time to get away from here. I like how the game sometimes creatively uses missing punctuation to imply the tone of the voice and everything. You see a lot of that with how they write Rainbow Dash later on. I think from what I remember that's also being changed in the lesbian animal version, but I feel they didn't remove the trait exactly from the character, they just like made it in a way that's more grammatically correct, I guess. But I think it was funnier when it was just she drops punctuation all the time because she is a rushy person. Yeah, if you try and go it again, you get a little jumpy animation. That's so funny. And I love the little details like as well, like random things you'll do will be remembered by the game, and like you can get jokes in some situations by finding a certain joke earlier on, and later on you find another joke and it's been modified because you saw the first joke. Like, I can't remember what it was, where it's like a reference, like if you encounter a certain thing, then later on the character won't be surprised and she'll explain to the other characters, like for the joke, and if you don't, it's the other way around. And it's one point where you can get the other two party members, but you can go and get them in any order, and they have slightly different dialogue for that. There's one where you can go out of order and you can go up to the border. That's what I was doing in my previous save. You can go up to the border before the border is open and get unique dialogue of the guy at the border being like, what the hell's going on? And Fluttershy being like, I have no idea why I walked over here. It's almost like some otherworldly creature is possessing me and making me break the order of the story. Which is a very, very meta joke, but like, trust me, it was more well phrased than actually funny. I'll see if I can get to that and I can show you. Here's a nice picture of me and Dashi. We look so cute together in this one. Dashi has the same photo hanging in her house. I have always really liked the sprite work for this sofa in particular. That's just a really nicely done sofa. I wonder if there are any coins between the couch cushions. Yay! I'm rewarded for looking at the nice sofa. Oh, if you actually go and check on it again, you get different dialogue. Oh, I'm going to be missing so much secret dialogue in this game. It's really fun how a developer hid it in so many crazy places. I mean, this isn't a crazy place, it's a very logical place, but later on you will get, like, again, doing things in the right order, you get extra bonuses, it's so fun. What was the one where if you come back with every new party member, you get an extra addition to the joke? When we get to that, I'll definitely point it out. What would be more assertive? That's my resolution every year and I always fail. 2, improve social skills. Same. 3, get ripped. 4, do a cartwheel. 5, post more answers on my blog. Fun fact, the only time I've ever done a cartwheel, or I guess a backflip, or I guess both at the same time, is when I fell sideways off an embankment in the park and twisted my ankle and like sprained it for 3 weeks. There was a guy coming up on a bike and I was like, oh, I'll politely step aside so he can get past me, and I stepped entirely the wrong direction. Like, my foot just went off the side, there was nothing to stand on. I just absolutely plummeted like a person in a cartoon. Apparently, from people who witnessed me, they said I did a full-on flip through a bush of nettles and just landed awfully on my ankle. And that was a really horrible experience. That happened shortly after COVID, so I was waiting for 6 whole hours in the hospital for the x-ray to determine, oh, it's not actually broken, it's just sprained. And then I had to get home on my own. I couldn't get an ambulance to the hospital. I couldn't get an ambulance back home from the hospital. So I had to spend like the last of my money I had to try and get a cab, and I couldn't fully pay the fare. But thankfully, the guy was really polite and let me off with like £2 missing. But yeah, I was like, I can't walk out from the operating room to the taxi rank. I was really stumbling because no one would come and help me. I had to like really stumble down the stairs to get to it. One of the most awful days of my life, but it gave a funny story, so apparently I looked really acrobatic going down. Anyway, 5, post more answers on my blog. 6, bunnies! Resolution for every year, bunnies. I love this. This is another one of the first things they showed in the dev vlog, improving for the second game. So really big, fancy, more detailed trees, but it's already really good at details. I just noticed one of those trees is slightly off palette in the corner. I will give it a very slight knock, and there are some minor glitches and certain things which are less finished than others, which was again because this is a first draft of a game that will later be improved. I would say that the texturing on the moss on the roof is a little bit less detailed than the trees, but that's just my personal opinion. Nothing on here looks bad, it's just, I wouldn't even categorize this as an art inconsistency. I categorize this as a technical, almost art inconsistency. Anyway, flowers. These yellow and blue flowers symbolize our love, or something like that. Oh, another thing I can say about the final version, apparently it has multiple emotion faces for the characters. In this one, it's just always the same smiling Fluttershy. I'm still mourning the poor trees who sacrificed their lives to give me this firewood. Also, I really love this song. Have I mentioned I love this song? I mentioned I love the one in the title screen, I also love this one. Your sacrifice will not have been in vain, my wooden friends. Also, it's an intentionally aesthetic choice that the grass texture is multiple dots like a transparency filter. The game has a lot of effects of like old VHS effects, which later on will play into the glitchy dungeon. Hi Angel, what's that you've got there? Oh, it's a note, let's see here. Adventuring tips for beginners. Should I read this? I could use some advice. I mean, I probably don't need the advice because for all I know, my muscle memory could kick in and I totally remember this game, but I want to see the dialogue to show off to you guys. I could use some pointers before I head to town, you never know what could be out there. Let's see what it says here. Tip 1, you can save from anywhere on the map as long as you aren't in a fight or talking to someone. Maybe just remember to save often. So, same as usual RPG Maker. Okay, these are all mostly normal tutorials and not too quirky or funny. You can use healing, watch your MP. Has there ever been a single game where just acquiring equipment and not equipping it, like, is good? I mean, I guess Princess Maker 1, where it was actually kind of hilarious. Equipment was a consumable item, so you just like use the dress and then you've obtained the dress, you're wearing a dress. So if you use a second dress, the first dress is erased your existence and you now have a status of the second dress. So aside from that, it's not very common for this to be a tip you have to tell everyone because it's just every RPG works that way. Tip 4, have fun and be yourself. I appreciate that. I was gonna say, yeah, these are very basic tips that weren't really necessary. But I suppose that's what I get for clicking on what's clearly labelled as optional content. I thought I remembered there being dialogue if you click on the water in the background. It might have just been on the devlog. But she was saying, she paid loads of attention to making sure the environments made sense for the characters. She was like, well, how would Fluttershy live on this little cottage far away from the town? She didn't have her own water source nearby to pull from the well. And I'm like, that's so much attention to detail. You didn't need to put that in the game. Everyone would be totally fine if it wasn't in the game, but I appreciate that you did it. I love the sheer level of passion that went into this project. This was also mentioned in the devlog. Apparently this is not canon to the show. She said this was a big moment where it was really important to have the music right and stuff because it's supposed to be the big bam moment. Like, oh, we're not taking place in the same universe as the show, it's some kind of alternate universe on floating islands. Again, I can't really give a good description or a good context of this because I haven't seen the show, but if I hypothetically had, this would have been a big whoa moment for me. Me playing this the first time, I was just like, oh yeah, I guess they all live on floating islands, that's probably normal. Actually, I'm gonna check, is there actually an option? Oh, there's no option there. If there was an option for auto-run, I'd put it on there. My class is Pony Paladin. Haha. I feel like it would be funny if it was like a hyphen in between Pal and the Din. Because it looks kind of funny when two of them are in capitals and one of them isn't. I remember I've got getting muscle memory over the brain. Does the brain count as a muscle? Organ memory. The little sounds for going in and out of the menu. Oh, that's so catchy. Fluttershy is a kind and gentle pony with a big heart. She loves to take care of others, especially her animal friends. I remember that from devlog too. She said that everyone's descriptions in the menu are not actually things she wrote herself. It's just the literal description of the characters from the profiles you get when you buy the toys. And everyone has a nickname. I think they're all different jokes. For Fluttershy, it's just funny synonyms for the same name. Yellow Quiet. Anyway, I am going to save over my previous files. I'm probably not going to ever go back to it. Okay, you can't run on the overworld then. I'm pressing it and you can't. Okay. That's the place I would most like to run. Oh my goodness, some kind of horrible monster. Oh yeah, all of the icons for monsters I think are shadowed out horses even though they're not. And the joke is it turns into things that are very much not horses. As you can see, oh, that kind of is half a horse. Yeah, so what I mean about some of the references, like, I don't actually know what it means. There's no reason as far as I can tell why this particular horse from the show has become a goo. But there you go, it's a horse from the show when it's on the basic JRPG enemy. I don't get it. I have no idea who this horse is. But I like her glasses. Also, I really love the song for the battles. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, you couldn't see it at home, but I was dancing the entire time. Anyway, it's also a great aesthetic for the game. They have these funked up backgrounds of strange pixel effects and stuff. This is overall VHS, like, retro type theme to the supporting graphics, which again has plot connection because that's like the villain is related to that. When we get to Javis, I need to remember his name is pronounced Javis. I really like Javis. Hopefully you will all really like Javis. I have a really funny devlog story to say about Javis when we get to him. Anyway, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Only one comma there. Gulp. Okay, Fluttershy, you can do this. You have to hit them a few times and then they'll go away. And if you get hurt, you can just heal yourself with first aid. Let's get this over with. See, I was going to say it's a bit clunky, a tutorial, like, here's how to do a basic battle. But when it's in character like that, it's definitely more immersive than it just being actual pop-ups. I will say this is a thing that even the developer said is that the battle system in this game is very simple and normal for RPGmaker, and she wasn't particularly proud of it, so she's gone and improved it a lot in the remake/sequel version. Oh yeah, they don't have a star power yet. I really like the star power. I've seen that in all the early demo footage and stuff. I also like how they have unique little quotes for the characters after the end of the battle. That was a very particular plugin for RPGmaker. Or was this VX Ace? I remember seeing this plugin before when I was a kid, researching how to make RPGmaker. This little plugin, this particular design for the end of battle screen. Oh boy, treasure. A sign! A sign! There's a jokes on a sign! North Ponit Town, East Ponit Inn, Ferris, West Fluttershy's College. Oh yeah, that's what she named her new blog after Ponit because it's one of the locations in the game. Oh, that's fun. So yeah, I think it's a situation where like if you go to Rainbow Dash first, or if you go to a town first, you get different dialogues for slightly different scenes. Oh, I'm so nostalgic for all of these. Is that the tent? Is that the infamous tent joke? I love this. Is it? Yes! This is my favourite joke playing it as a kid. Just one random tent in the village. It's not a tent, it's just a mural painted on the floor. Who painted this tent on the ground? This is like very popular and very memed on because so many people genuinely mistook us for an actual bug and not an intentional joke. And the developer was like, I'm getting so sick of bug reports about the tent joke. I did it on purpose, you guys. It's just a meta game. I think there's also one place we have a stock image of a barn or something. Oh yeah, Rarity is one of our party members. She's like the pony who likes fashion or something. Or is she the magic one? One of them's a magic one who likes books. One of them's a fashion person who likes fashion. And the protagonist is a shy one, and her girlfriend is the tomboy one. Hi Rarity, have you been lately? Oh Fluttershy, I'm doing well. I was hoping I'd see you today though, which feels like we haven't spoken in ages. I'm getting the idea you have a fancy voice, so you might be the fashion one. I suppose you're looking for Rainbow Dash right now. We can continue this conversation later. Yeah, this was a specific one which will change if you already have Rainbow Dash in your party. How do you know I was looking for Rainbow? Oh darling, you're always looking for Rainbow. You're so in love or something. I think that was the next line. Yeah, darling, you're always thinking about Rainbow Dash. It's actually fun how many of the specific jokes I can remember. How many have totally gone over my head. Incidentally, I like the shading on the opening for the tents. It's very well done. You're thinking about it right now, aren't you? If I remember correctly, it's another one where what you do will permanently change what happens when you interact with her. Every time you try and talk to her again, Fluttershy will be like, oh no, I'm thinking about Rainbow Dash, and then she'll just leave. Fluttershy, snap out of it! Get the spelling salts! I don't even know why I'm wasting my breath right now. You can't hear a word I'm saying as long as you're thinking about her. Fluttershy, where are you going? Don't just walk away from... Yes? Yes. Right then! Okay, I wasn't the joke I remember, that's actually funnier. No. As for that joke in Pokemon, like, what town are you from? And your only options are yes and no, and it's like, yes town, what does that mean? Okay, so is that Rainbow Dash's house because she has the same flowers? I thought the other direction was Rainbow Dash's house. Yeah, it is her house, okay. We'll wait to talk to you on Toad after anything. I want to see all the mystical content. We should go to the other place then to see where that was. That's funny, I don't remember there being a shop in Ponette. Oh, was this the whoever the name is, like Rainbow Dash's sister who looks nothing like her? I vaguely remember that. Like an orange person. I guess the sign means shop is where my money goes? We ain't ready yet. Come back tomorrow for the ground. Okay, a yellow person. So, are you not the one I was thinking of? Yeah, there's some kind of younger pony who's a sibling of one of the other ponies. Oh, and I think there's a pony called, the one I really liked in Gen 1, Applejack. I have no idea why, but in this particular continuity, she was turned into an American cowboy. She wasn't that in the original show. She was just a randomly clumsy pony who was funny, and I liked her. She used to have freckles. She doesn't have freckles anymore. Actually, you know, put in the bloody Sea Pony song. Just tangentially, Applejack was in that. It's also a really catchy song. And now we've ended that tangent back to flowers that smell like snack cakes. I'm not entirely sure why. I don't know either, that's probably a reference to something. Book. Probably shouldn't barge into Twilight's house when I haven't been invited. Okay, she's the book one. Can we do anything at the well? This town's wishing well. Should come back here with Rainbow. And there's a holding down here, but... anything else around here? Could we go inside the real tent that really exists? Rarity isn't in her tent bound now. Oh, she lives in a tent. Why doesn't she have a house like everybody else? Is she like from another country? She's only staying here temporarily? Danger. Danger. Oh, was this the one? I think this was the one where... Danger. Yeah, I think it's the one where whenever you get a new party member, you come here and you talk to the danger side and they all just repeat danger increasingly long amounts of times the more party members you get. We all share one brain cell. I'm not going down there. Yeah, that's a plot area for later. Danger. Apparently that joke does remain in the final version, but it's been changed to a different thing. Yeah, here's a PNG of a Bonn. I have a really funny development story for this. Apparently there was like a hater of the game, some kind of homophobe who was like, you shouldn't be allowed to have gay games on itch.io, even though there's nothing in the rules of itch.io, you can't have gay games. There's a lot of gay games on itch.io, but this person was like, I'll try and find any possible way I can legally get you banned using the real rules. It was like, there's one stock photo of a barn in the game, so I'm going to report you for using stolen content of this stock photo of a barn. And the developer was like, I have bought the stock image of the barn. Here is proof sent to itch.io of my ownership of this stock image of a barn. I'm just leaving the watermark on the image because it's funnier. It's wonderful. And that worked, and the game was put back up again. It's just, what a wild story. Apples. Okay, nothing about talking about any specific apples, I think. Nothing more through the big apple maze. It's just background stuff. Oh, here's Applejack. Yeah, she's the one who's for some reason... She does have freckles. Oh yeah, she did have freckles, but I think she still has freckles now. I don't remember that being in the show. Maybe I just missed it. All I know is that they just put a hat on her and now she's an American person. Well, howdy Fluttershy, I haven't seen you around town lately. What you been up to? I especially like how they drew you of a lot more freckles. See, I don't know if the actual show did give her freckles or not. I remember them being in G1, but not the later one. So if it's just an attempt like, oh, we've brought back the old feature of her having freckles, that's so cute, giving her much, much more freckles. I really like how those are done. Anyway, she talks in a cowboy accent. I don't know how to do an American cowboy accent, so I'm not going to do it. I'm just probably going to read it out phonetically. Taking care of my animals mostly. Some of them got sick, so I haven't had any free time lately, but they're all better now. Well, that's good to hear. I've just been picking apples for the most part. Naturally. Is it some kind of stereotype in America that, like, the job of picking apples is something a cowboy does? Take it you're heading for Rainbow's place next, right? You know, Rarity said the same thing. What a coincidence. It's hardly a coincidence, Fluttershy. It's your literal girlfriend. She ain't where you're right now. It means you haven't seen today. Simple as that. Y'all are inseparable, so I'm a bit confused about that word. Like two peas in the pod, except the peas are dated. Flipping plants can date. Anyway, I've got a lot of apples to tend to, and I know you're just chomping at the bit to see Rainbow Dash. Fully want to admit it, everyone around here can tell Rainbow's been missing you this week. I was afraid it would be the case, so better get going then. Have a nice day, Applejack. Oh, that's cute. I like you can get a little bit of implication about their relationship and talking with everybody else. Also, I feel bad now I'm leaving Rainbow Dash waiting for me, but I just want to see all the bonus dialogue. The Apple Family Board. Probably nothing interesting in there. There's apples. Apples are interesting. There's apples outside too, though. Oh, what's in the basement? Oh, this is foreshadowing for an earlier plot as well. Probably shouldn't be going through Rainbow's belongings when she's not here. Yeah, this becomes important later. And this is a fun reference she recreated in this tile set. Like, this tile set here is based on a real one from the default of RPGmaker, but it's just entirely redrawn in her own sprite style. This particular carpet here is very recognisably, like, I think it's VX or VX Ace. One of those era of RPGmaker games that were around when I was little. I'm not sure if the parallax background is the real one from the game, or if she did also draw that one too. Where's your girlfriend, Fluttershy? Hello, what are you doing down here? What's all this? Oh yeah, I remember, Twilight is the only one whose portrait is facing the front instead. I think they were all just drawn at different angles randomly and just cropped out for this. Something fun. We need at least another pony to do this properly though, so come back a Rainbow. So yeah, this is a plot thing that happens later. I didn't know you could walk into it early. But yay, more bonus dialogue. Okay, where would all the other places I could go without Rainbow Dash? Who are you to the side? Who are you to the side? This way you go to the border, yeah, funny border dialogue, what's a funny border dialogue? Yes, yes! Camelus. I think all the area names are different language words for horse. I also don't know if that's accurate to a show they were made up. Good morning, Miss Shy. Hello. Do you need to pass through here? What? This is the Ferris border, ma'am. Do you have business to take care of outside of Camelus? Oh wait, no. Oh wait, no. Oh, just a friendly visit then? To be completely honest, I'm not really sure what I'm doing here. We can just have a chat. It gets pretty boring on this water. Nothing really happens, no one has any reason to leave Cavillus, and the monster and Ferris are content staying on their own side of the wall. So I just stand here for hours on end with nothing to do. Would you mind staying a little while longer? Yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna buy. Oh no, I do actually want to stay and talk to the lonely guard person. Okay, do I need to start? Yes? Really? Wow, I never would have thought of you as the adventurous type. What exactly are you planning on doing at first? Wait, you're just pulling my leg, aren't you? Sorry to waste your time. No, it's fine. Oh, I wish there was an option to actually stay and chat with you, but I mean, it makes sense for a socially anxious character. Oh! Free stuff! I like that little animation for the opening of the treasure chest. Free stuff reward for me going out in the middle of nowhere looking for nothing. Is there no one on the other side? Secret door! Secret door! Secret door! Second person I can talk to! My shift doesn't start for another 10 minutes. Buzz off. Very slight typos in this version. I don't remember. I don't remember there being a lot of errors with the text. Talk to the sign? No. No more extra things to look at here. That tiny joke is where I definitely left off my second playthrough years ago. And what's this house? There's a silent door that says, under new management, come back tomorrow. Okay, nothing more to see here. Rainbow Dash, my apparent beloved, I come forth to ye. Oh wait, wrong house. Now is the girlfriend. I think I'll go up to... I want to go to show you Javis because he's my favourite. He's, like, so cool. He's a fun, silly villain guy. But I think he's actually a significant amount of time into the game. Like, at the end of the first dungeon. I'm not sure how long the first dungeon was. Might be the second dungeon for all I remember. I'll go definitely up until we get to show some actual dungeon action, then probably pause it there. Because knowing me, I'll just play the entirety of the game and, like... Actually, in retrospect, nobody can stop me. Like, there's no rules for random RPGmaker except the ones I make myself. And plenty of other games in the marathon I have played the whole game. I've just been like, I play this much and then I play the rest off screen. Nothing is technically stopping me from going, okay, this time I'll play the entire game on stream and it'll just be a regular Let's Play. Maybe I'll decide later. I'll just do one session for today. I don't want to, like, keep myself up to 5 AM or something going crazy about a horse game. Actually, I do want to do that, but I won't do that. Hey! Hey babe, how's it hanging? Yeah, she uses weird punctuation. I like how it implies the tone of her voice from that. Rainbow, you don't have to hide your enthusiasm, I think it's nice. I was just excited because I haven't seen you in ages. I miss hanging out with you, you know. I know, I miss you too, I'm so sorry Rainbow. I just couldn't leave my poor little animal friends these past 2 weeks. She takes care of animals, she's like a vet or something. Again, I don't really know about the show. Yeah, Mr. Bear got sick and Frog and a Frog caught him. Mr. Bear had somehow, I don't even know how Frog and a Frog caught it because he's an amphibian. Before I knew it, half my animals were sick. That sounds pretty awful, babe. Yeah, but thanks to me, they're all better now. That means I finally have a day off, and the plot can begin. So hoping you have something in mind for the two of us to do together. Like smooching. I love the creative use of manual text timing. You mean like kissing? Yeah, heck yeah! I kind of want to pick heck nah because it's so funny, but I do actually want to see the cutscene. We're breaking up. No, I thought I clicked heck yeah, no! At least I got to see! This fake out game over! It's suddenly an emoji face! Oh, it's actually a real game over! Okay, where did I save? Pausing the game and getting back to where I was. Yeah, I actually have no clue what happened here. Looking back on the footage, I did very clearly click on heck yeah. I guess it's just a potential glitch in the game. I'm not in any way going to complain about the game having a fake out game over this early on because, like, it's a funny joke and putting it this early on means there's barely anything you have to, like, catch up on to progress with. If this was later in the game, I would genuinely have complained about that. Like, I also, one of the game was an Alice Mare where you just suddenly randomly die all the time. That was really annoying. I'm thinking, like, I'm scrambling, like, how could I find a negative to put about this in the review? What can I possibly say about this game which isn't perfect? Like, there's one misaligned tile on that screen and hypothetically someone could have found this joke unfunny, but I don't. I think I'm just gonna be honest, I'm just gonna gush. Oh, we can actually see this different dialogue if we go to Rainbow Dash immediately now. Yay! It all worked out, it was all on purpose, it was part of my devious plan. Heck yeah! Yeah! That's also another thing mentioned in the devlog. This scene was vitally important to make sure the audience knows that this is a crazy, funny joke game and not an SFW game in any way. We are just about genuine, wholesome lesbian love, and it's not for fan service. So here, a scene where you think it might be fan service, but in fact it is joke because we are a joke game. And I found it funny. It's very relatable how the creator was like really overthinking, like, oh, but what if the fandom reaction is negative to this? What if we do this? I need to do this just in case. I can totally relate to that. Whenever I make stuff, I'm like, oh, but what if this one thing ruins the whole thing? If I don't put this other thing to stop this thing from ruining the whole thing? Really relatable, but I also don't totally agree. I don't think that would have happened. I think it wasn't necessary to put this scene in as a big band-aid to stop a problem. It's necessary to put this scene in because it's really fucking funny, and I'm glad it's here. I'm glad it all worked out. Anxiety accidentally made the game funnier. Hey, I've got a better idea. What? Let's go on a date. You mean right now? Yeah, why not? Let's go do something fun. Okay, but just calling it a date doesn't exactly give us anything in particular to do, dear. Let's go do a plot! I don't know, we'll figure something out. I think I recall correctly, it's, whichever one's the book one, the purple one is the book one. She, like, summons a dungeon by mistake or something. Yeah, I think that might be, like, the glitch dungeon's the second dungeon, then. Let's just wander around and find something to do, I guess. Your girlfriend, Rainbow Dash, Q and you! I timed that pretty well, actually. Can we jump on this bed, too? Fluttershy, think of the children! Yeah, okay, yeah, more jokes, like, yeah, there's no fan service allowed in this game, it's all just cute. That's Rainbow and me. Yeah, I like that photo too, but who are you talking to, babe? I was talking to myself again? Yep. Oh, sorry, Rainbow, I don't know what's up with me today, I just can't stop talking to myself every time I walk up to a vaguely interesting object. It's like everyone talks to themselves from time to time, you know. I tend to talk to my Dr. Snap plushies, but hey. I'm not going to talk to myself in the mirror every morning. Yeah, the joke is like every morning I say I'm really cool and awesome to hype myself up, and I think it was also mentioned in the devlog when this is a moment like showing here's my interpretation of Rainbow Dash. That she isn't really super confident. She's like, she has her own deep issues sometimes too, and then she has to work on her confidence, I guess. Again, I don't know what's canon to the show or not, if it was fanfic or not, but I like that. I like that idea. Really? Yeah, every morning I stare at myself in the mirror and repeat the phrases, you are hardcore and you are radical, to myself about 10 times to get myself ready for the day. I don't know how you never noticed me doing that every morning. I guess I learned something new every day. What are you looking for in my closet, babe? Not you! Not me! Nothing in there but some clothes and junk. Oh, what am I doing looking in your closet? Sorry, Rainbow, must have spaced out. Hey, that's it. It's like low-key slight meta-humor on the idea of being controlled by play, but from what I remember, there's no actual plot about that. I don't know if that's something that comes up in the final game. Like, maybe that's the dramatic plot that goes on, but like, yeah, it's not stuff like in Deltarune where the whole plot is like the player is an evil entity controlling some person who has free will, or whatever gonna go for, whatever the twist is gonna be in that game. Still haven't finished chapter 3 and 4. Say, Rainbow, I always wondered, why is it so facing the wall? Yeah, I remember this joke! Why is it facing the fourth wall? Making a statement or something. Yeah, I think I have different variants of dialogue now Rainbow Dash is here. Let's see. Oh, Rainbow Dash, can we speak for a moment? Sure, Rarity, what's up? Is that the dress commission you were interested in? A new dress? What's the occasion, Rainbow? Oh, actually, it's for you. Surprise! For me, I should have no surprise here, I'm afraid. Yeah, I don't have any control. I like how the game sometimes does creative stuff for displaying the text. What do you mean? You're thinking about your request ever since you spoke to... If I remember correctly, like, I wanted a cool gasoline-smelling dress which is black with red flames or something, and then Rarity's like, that wouldn't suit Fluttershy, that's clearly for you. You gave me quite the ethical dilemma. Yeah, it's the ethical dilemma, I can't make something so hideous. I'm afraid I can't do it. I simply can't bring myself to commit those crimes against fashion. Sorry, Rainbow. Oh, come on, my idea was great and you know it. Rainbow, please, just think about your request. Think about the children. A black dress or a photorealistic flame pattern. Bonford memory, totally on fleek. Is that the right word? It's good. It's good at doing things. I actually have a really bad memory, but my memory for memes in games is actually decent. What is this, 5th grade? Yeah, I don't know what that is, translating like American classes to British classes, but I'm assuming that's young. Hey, clothes with flames have been proven to make you go faster and be more hardcore. That was a meme apparently with this game is 20% faster. I don't know what that means, but apparently it's related to this character. That's a psychological fact. Twilight was here, she can back me up on this, but she's not, so you just have to take my word for it. Fluttershy, don't you want to be fast? Don't crush this poor girl's dreams, Rarity. Where did you learn such a ridiculous thing anyway? I learned that psychology fact from my uncle. Oh, what was it? My uncle's psychology dash. Yeah, my uncle, good old psychologist. It just shows how much this game had an impact on me. It's so fun and wonderful. Maybe we don't have any uncles. Fluttershy, cut me some slack. I'm trying to get you a sick dress here. It's okay, Rainbow, at least you tried, right? Okay, Rarity, what if we reworked the design a little? I don't know what the joke is here. It's gonna be like, if we added more racing stripes? What if we replaced the fire pattern with lightning? I'm still not sewing that. Okay, fine, I guess it's back to the drawing board. Rainbow's class is fast! Okay, what's your silly nickname? Speedy Cloud. Rainbow Dash loves to fly as fast as she can. She is always ready to go on an adventure and help one of her friends. Person I also remember is, in this particular season of the show, a lot of the toys were really inaccurate for the characters, like, ponies in different colours or with slightly different names and stuff. There was one grey one who kept changing names. I don't know what the context is for that. She had funny eyes. Danger, danger. Yeah, it was this, yeah! Okay, my friend Nova on Discord, that's the original context of the joke that was changed in the second version. I want to eat this flower! New dialogue here! Dash, you use a Twilight's flowers, you probably shouldn't be eating them. They smell so good and I'm a hungry horse. Yeah, I really like literally, almost everything in the first town has totally different dialogue, except just clicking on this door and being told you can't go in the door. Really good attention to detail. Look, Rainbow, it's a wishing well. Let's wish to be together forever. Ah! Did you hear that? It sounded like it was coming from my basement. Oh, so was that mandatory or optional? Because I know the basement's where you're meant to go for the plot next. So was that just a clue put in, like, oh, if you're meandering around the town for too long, the game will give you a clue? That's interesting if true. I want to go check everything. I want to see, like, if we go back to Fluttershy's house, do we get new dialogue there too? Fluttershy, I don't know about you, but when I think of fun stuff to do on a date, I don't usually think of barns. There's nothing name it manually. Probably apples. Did somebody say apples? How'd she hear us from all the way over there? Applejack works in mysterious ways. Selective telepathy that only works on the word apples. That's on me. What is? You're back together. I've been awful worried about Rainbow lately. When I talk about AJ, I've been perfectly fine. I'm not gonna tell anyone I missed my girlfriend. I reckon if your definition of perfectly fine includes lying in the middle of town and staring at the sky without moving for hours on end while you sulk, then yeah, you've been perfectly fine. Exactly, perfectly fine. Rainbow, if you missed me so much, why didn't you come visit me at my cottage? You know, that's a good question. Thank you. You're welcome, babe. Yeah, I do love how it's like they're playfully lampshading, like, it's kind of an excuse plot to get going. You two lovebirds don't need me anymore, I'm just to get back to work. See, I would have had so much more forgiveness for so many games in the marathon if they just made a joke about their shortcomings like that. Like, yeah, I can't think of a good thing to do for this, so I'll just put in a funny placeholder. That would have been great, rather than taking it way too seriously and just leaving really big plot holes out in the open. Me in post, I think I could have explained this more clearly, because I have complained about other things like, oh, it's just lampshading the problem and not fixing it. That's the thing, is like, if it's actually funny, then you can forgive it. When it's just, you're just pointing out that an issue exists, and I guess it's kind of meant to be a joke, but it's not actually funny in any way, so it doesn't register as a joke. Then it's just like, yeah, what was the point of this line? Why is it here except to just make it more obvious that you failed at something? And then you could have used that effort to either fix the actual problem or just make the joke funnier about the problem. That's what I was trying to get across. Also, if your game is like from top to toe, already a game about meta jokes everywhere, a lampshading joke won't seem out of place in a clash of the tone. If I get done with these here apples before sundown, so I can head over to Rarities. Oh, so are you and Rarity a couple? Because how many ponies are there? I can't remember which ones were in your party, but I think it was a thing where there's one more pony than there actually are party slots, so one pony had to stay home for some reason. But I guess we'll get to that when we get to the plot. I think that's probably something they fix in the final version, because, I mean, when you're making a big original game of your own, you can just decide to not have 5 characters if you don't want 5 characters. Let's go to the border! Let's go to the border and see if there's any new dialogue of Rainbow Dash. What are we doing at the border? Fluttershy, you dragged me all the way to the Ferris border. Are we fleeing the country or something? What? No, I must have just spaced out. Can't believe my own girlfriend was a criminal mastermind this whole time. They have to flee the country to avoid the repercussions of her crimes. But I guess I should have known. I mean, you know what they always say about the quiet ones. What do they say? They say you're all secretly criminal masterminds. Let's just go back to town, okay? See, I love it, yeah, and you would have missed all of the dialogue in the border if you can't enter the border now, you only get this different dialogue instead. This game is really, like, so much work went into the tiniest little jokes. I really, really appreciate that. And when we get to the final version, I'm gonna miss so many jokes. I don't already have the preset knowledge of exactly where to go to get the hidden stuff, so, I need to play the final version multiple times and find it all too. That's funny. Hey, okay, Little Miss Potato is only one bonus dog from backtracking all the way to the start of the game of Rainbow Dash, but it's the funniest one. Like, when Fluttershy's going on, oh, I love this gift my girlfriend gave to me, this big photograph of her own face, which is kind of a funny ego person. That's the perfect spot to make the extra response. I still can't believe no one else liked the poster. I thought it was a great gift. Don't worry about the Rainbow, I think it was a very thoughtful gift. Thanks, babe. Yeah, it's minor, but it's worth running all this way. Now all the way back to the plot. I got so hyperactive, I don't want to stop playing. Oh, so now you can open them and you can get an item. That's good. See, so much stuff changes if you just do it in a different order. I love it. Also, I really like Rainbow Dash's little portrait with a little funny face. That was also mentioned in the dev vlog. I had trouble designing all the faces for different ponies, and then this one I just kind of doodled a really weird looking smile, and it was so funny I kept it forever. I love that. This is me misremembering. She said the other ones were easy, and the Rainbow Dash was the hardest, and she went through a million different iterations to get the exact perfect silly smile. And that just makes it even funnier. I don't remember what's in this box. Let's see if there's something cool in there. Maybe don't even know what's in her own basement. I mean, I don't think she knows. That's the default VXA sprite for the monster. All the jokes are coming back to me like a vision to my mind. Yeah, there was a joke. There's just one encounter in the whole game, or maybe two, where it actually looks like a regular monster and not the Pony Overworld sprite. Look at nerdy just dumb stuff like remembering things to you, babe. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't think she remembers there being a dungeon in her basement and like the entire void of space. Potions, Cubular. Also, just gotta say, I like these unique icons for potions. I don't know if they created them themselves or just found a really uncommon, like, icon pack, but I like them. They're very different. Also, I love this music, but that goes without saying. Twilight, what? Where did you get in my basement? Why is my basement like a dungeon all of a sudden? How and when I got in here isn't important. The point is your basement's a neato dungeon now. Oh dear. Why? Why would you do this? I had cool stuff down here, now it's become a Hydra in the corner, now it's become a Malboro. Like, that was my collection of pocket lint and now it's taking over the world. Like power tools and whatnot. Just because you're the princess of town doesn't mean you can royally screw up my basement. But it's better now. Oh yeah, that's probably what's up with the weird sprite here. You see, like, she's like scrunching up her shoulder and like the shoulder is something fluffy. I think there was something that happened in the show is the one pony, she started out not having wings and then she became a princess and she grows wings because when you're the pony princess you get wings. And there was something said in the dev, look, this takes place just after the episode where she got that power up, but before the show showed the consequence of the power up, so she may be out of canon depending on like how the princess thing worked later. I don't know because I have no context for real pony princess powers. I think it might be called an alicorn, like you become a unicorn and a pegasus at the same time or something. I think Unipeg would be a funnier name, but anyhow, but it's better now. See, as a princess of friendship, yeah, that's apparently the thing that happened in the show. I've a duty to teach everyone valuable lessons about interpersonal relationships, so I made you a fucked up dungeon about that. Commit this dungeon. Rainbow's the only house in Pony with a basement, so this is the easiest place to start building it. Now we have to explore it together as best friends. It'll be great. Yeah, and this character's like maniacal and kind of mad scientist adjacent, but like a wizard. Again, I don't know if that's accurate to the show, but she's like kind of a trickstery one who causes most of the conflict in the game. What? It doesn't sound fun at all. It sounds scary and stressful. And also, like, evidently you don't know much about friendship because you're like, I'll teach you all friendship by disrespecting my friend's personal space and belongings. I think in the final version, the creator actually more plays that up being an intentional part of her character. She has, like, issues and stuff like that. Like, a character is, like, cold on the surface and, like, but then warms up by the end of the game and there's, like, moral complexity. She's some kind of cow and wears a hat now. And somebody becomes a tiger. I don't know who becomes the tiger. Anyway, back on the subject of this game, I have no idea if this is canon or not to the character. I think in the devlog she was saying like some characters were really wild reinterpretations and some were not, but I have no sense of reference for which is which. Exactly! Twilight, I don't think you have a firm grasp of the concept of friendship yet. Yeah, exactly what I'm saying. It'll be a bonding experience. How about I bond my right hook with you? Rainbow, please don't get violent. Sorry, babe. I'm waiting for the rest of our friends to get here first, but you know what? We can handle this on our own. It'll be just the three of us in a fun-filled dungeon. Oh, is this the reason why in the final version apparently you spend a while with only 3 characters and then the 4th character joins later? Is it just because like that was the arbitrary order it happened to happen with this dungeon? Or maybe there's an actual plot reason in the final? I'm still not sure this is safe. Also, I don't remember who the 4th pony was. It's one of the 2 we've seen. It's either the Apple one or the fashion one. It's actually kind of funny that the whole group is like shy, tomboy, bookish, fashion, apple, or cowboy. The fifth personality, cowboy. It's so weird because a joke from I've never watched It's Always Sunny. I didn't know that joke was from It's Always Sunny. I've definitely made that joke in one of my videos before, and then one of my friends was like, oh, is that from It's Always Sunny? I'm like, no, it's from Pony Game. that must have been where I first learned about it. You're not gonna let us turn you down your offer, are you, Twilight? Nope. You know we were kind of on a date or whatever? More or less. What's more romantic than beating up sentient boxes in a hell dungeon that is slowly taking over your house? Fun fucking fact, I've misremembered the game as having sentient box enemies. The final version of the game does replace the enemies in this dungeon with sentient boxes, and I had never heard of this because it was never mentioned in the devils. It was specifically kept spoiler free and blanked out in screenshots to keep the joke. So I have no idea how my brain aligned on the astral plane to figure out this thing about a game I've never played. Do you really want to be a third wheel, Twilight? She could be a fourth wheel. I'd be okay with that. Twilight Sparkle joined the party as the third wheel. Twilight Sparkle supports polyamory. Okay, but fair warning, I can start macking on my girl at any time. It's not like you two haven't gotten all affectionate around me before. Honestly, it's no big deal. Like, really go into town. I love this idea of, like, threatening her of aggressively making out. She's primarily driven by impulse. It can and will happen when you least expect it, Twilight. Whatever floats your love boat. Some real hardcore tonsil hockey if you catch my drift. We'll bring out the JPEG again. You two are making a much bigger deal out of it than I ever would, just so you know. Can we go? Swap and spit. I get it, Rainbow. Planting a big smacker. Okay. Smooching. Face sucking. Locking lips. Puckering up. Watching submarine races. Can we just go already? Do you get new dollars if we go back and talk of everybody in town? One way to go, we have to phone. Okay. See, let's talk to you one single RPG Maker asset in the game. Like, oh my god. It just turns into the same design. It's kind of fun. Okay, so we know you've only got here, but what does everybody else have? I remember this. I forgot the logo was literally the band Kiss. This is one of the only unique changes that was made to the battle system is if you happen to have two ponies from the same couple, they can do a passive kiss buff and can we both do it? Yeah, we can both do it. We can both boost all of each other's stats by kissing each other. But Twilight cannot. She doesn't have a girlfriend here. I don't know if she has a girlfriend. I think there were two sets of smooches you could do with two different people. I'm not sure who was who. But yeah, Twilight's the magic person, I guess. Yeah! Apparently in the devlog she said it was difficult to get the lips showing up to appear in different colours depending on who was kissing who. I think it's taken care of by having it be, don't quote me on this, I can't remember exactly, but I think it's taken care of by having it be two separate skills which just have exactly the same name and effect but pointing at different characters, like just a duplicate so they can both have separate animations. But yeah, honestly at this point you may as well just bonk 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 because, I mean, the characters the monsters don't have much experience anyway. I can't remember if it got more difficult by the time of the bosses. There's not much point in actually using Twilight's magic because you don't need it yet. But I mean, I did. Like, it takes them out a little bit faster, but like, yeah. I think it takes like it takes 2 bonks to take one out, and it takes 1 magic to take one out. So it speeds it up a little bit. Oh, very almost. Okay. So it actually takes 2 bonks to take out anyone. I remember that, like, if you have Twilight cast a spell, then Fluttershy has less attack. So Fluttershy should have been attacking the one with the spell on. Okay. See, it's a little bit more complicated than I expected, actually. I might as well just all bonk, because, like, yeah. We'll wait till next turn and have 2 of them combo to take out the last one. See, it's very basic. You could do this in any game, really, but it's a little bit more than just bonk, bonk, bonk combo. Okay, I guess you get criticals that can go out. There's 2 default sprites, okay. I do like this joke, but they look different and just very not. I guess it seems damage is inconsistent and not fixed. I might end up cutting out a lot of these battles, but do end up just mostly being bonk, bonk, bonk with occasional magic. I'll come back in and show you more when we get to an actual boss fight or enemies with interesting attacks. Because I'm sure there are in the game, I recall there being, but I don't remember how long it takes to get to them. You know, Dumb Adventure is kind of fun, I guess. Yeah, you have to hit things. I'm glad you're enjoying this experience. Twilight? Yes, Flashlight? This basement dungeon just one long, perfectly straight path. Okay, I remember now the glitch dungeon is the first dungeon because there's some sort of subversion where the path that Twilight expected it to be suddenly changed and somebody else has taken control of the dungeon. I think that's where you finally meet Javis. Let's go until we meet Javis. Of course not, there wouldn't be an adventure at all. It's in a straight line. The joke is there's one turn, and then the end of a turn is when things go crazy, right? Well, it isn't. Okay, I'll just check it. Let's keep going then. I forgot about you! Super Twister Code is just... I love this game's sense of humour. I can't remember if you had any different actual abilities though. I think the joke is you're exactly the same. You have slightly more defense. And not more attack. You get to exist 2 turns in our presence. So you can really soak in the design. Slightly different coloured treasure chests. Really, Twilight. Only 10 bits. We're making more money fighting these monsters. I don't even know where the cash is coming from. I think the joke was it cost so much money to make this dungeon, that's all I had left. Yeah, building a dungeon is all expensive, that's all I had left. Twilight, you saying you spent all your life savings? For instance, Celestia censoring my allowance? Yes. I think that's the character who had the bad joke about being this evil sex person on the bad Tumblr thing. Was it really worth it? And she's like not like a mum, but like a teacher or a mentor of some kind to the ponies, so... yeah, she's like an older pony, I think. And she's the one who was white, but her toy was pink, and people were complaining about that. We're having fun, aren't we? Well, that's one word for it. Look, okay, here's a spare potion I was keeping in case of emergencies. Happy now? Oh, 2 like default sprites. And they're all the same. We haven't even needed to use heal yet. Oh, sometimes a different pony will give dialogue. Yay! Yeah, you were different. Just swoosh it all in. Oh, I love game. I'm so glad that video games exist. But yeah, you don't really need to use the kiss thing yet. I think you do in boss fights. It actually works to buff you up. Here it's like they go down so fast it doesn't matter. See, there's the turn. It isn't a straight line at all. Bonford's mind is imbued with the energy of the game on the wavelength. I'm on the turn. The turn was me all along. The turn is there only one? That's all my budget had room for. But hey, it isn't one perfectly straight line. Twilight, I swear to God. Shondi, I sworn to God. It's the Grandmaster Grandpa I liked from bloody, what was it, Legion Wood? RPGmaker DS Grandpa. I can actually identify which sprite that is now, hooray! And it's, of course it's the same, but one of them is misaligned, of course. Fucking love this game's sense of humor. How am I gonna do like the traditional random RPGmaker summary I make at the end? It's just gonna be a big montage of every fucking joke, isn't it? How am I gonna limit myself? How am I gonna pick the best ones? Yeah, I can finally use heal on someone. Oh, I got a status. So they're all slightly different. They have a chance of inflicting darkness. How many even knows that the surreal background in the back of the battles have been changing between them? That's cool. I kicked so many things. I love her as the best. Oh, we finally got a level up. Oh boy, look, I leveled up. That's nice. Coolio. Her agility is always 999 because she's a fast pony. I like that. Oh, we're going to check what Twilight's learn class in as well. Oh, she learned a sleep attack. That's probably going to be good when we get to bosses. Rad. I'm sorry, Grandpa. Pretty Pony Princess class. Magicorn. I wish she was called Magicorn. That's actually a really cute pun. Twilight Sparkle is a smart and talented unicorn. She likes to spend time with her friends and you learn new kinds of magic. Also, I like the little graphic for your attack balls. I didn't even notice that. That's a unique graphic too. I really like that. Again, I don't know if it's a preset script or one customized by the creator, but it all looks really consistent, really unique, and I love it. Let's save here. Get ready for a big tussle, you two! It's my terrible boss fight! It's just gonna be the same monster wearing a hat. I know there's one boss early on that's some kind of really out of place, different on acid, of a really fucked up and cool looking golem with drills for hands or something. I don't know, because apparently that was drawn by a person who is no longer working on the final version of the game. The core Corvus monster design was not the one that was made by a one-off person. The music for the battle with this guy was the one that was made off by a one-off person who left the team due to, let's say, big disagreements about racial equality, apparently. Bobby just says, that's how I learned to properly screen people I employ later on, because this person was not very nice. And that's a huge shame. It's a shame that happened, and I'm glad that person is no longer in the second version of the game. But that's such a shame that forever their music is in this version of the game, and like, aw. But the actual design for the boss was made by the person who would end up becoming Bobby's boyfriend in many years. And that's really cool. His art style has changed a lot over the years. He still does designs for some of the NPCs and some of the bosses in the final game. I wonder when we finally get to them, how different will they be? I've only seen the NPC designs so far. Bonus additional fucked up bosses designed by the boyfriend. We got this like double-headed horse deer thing. I love it. We got whatever the hell this is. Whatever the hell that is. Whatever the heck that is. I love these undefined shapes. I love these little sneakers on such a spooky. I love this scrunglified like Lorax King. I love the swole prism. I wonder if I was supposed to be related to Javis. And just a really buff Minotaur. My boyfriend is so cool. Yay. Trying to seriously use the word tussle to describe fighting monsters in a dungeon. You're just trying to sap every last drop of enjoyment out of experience for me. Okay, I heard you loud and clear, jeez. Get ready for a boss fight then. Does that wording please you, Rainbow? It's an improvement over tussle, that's for sure. We have to fight a boss? 2 bosses, actually. 2 monsters that are more powerful than anything we've faced so far. Is it going to be fucking Twistigo in a hat? Gulp. Well, let's get this over with. Yeah, we're okay there, but I think that there was... Is a joke going to be like the boss is not what you expected it to be? Like a different boss has busted in. Oh my fucking god, I forgot. Real ass horse! Real ass horse! Of course, it's even lazier than what I thought. I love it. I love creative parody of bad RPGmaker games in this good RPGmaker game. Also, I love that fucking background looks like Darkonium. Dr. Snap flying out of that portal and just casually walking behind everybody. Really rocking the soundtrack. I probably have to reduce the volume on this in post. It's actually really loud and really unbalanced from the rest of the music we've seen so far, but hell yeah. Anyway, let's actually fight this time. I probably won't talk to my stream this, like, I love this song! Okay, one more mild slight thing I can say is it's a shame there's no icon above the actual character sprite indicating it's got a status effect. You have to mouse over and see the bar saying what the enemy's thing is. Like if you go here, yeah, it shows here this one's still asleep, but it's not like over the sprite, so it's hard to tell unless you've already started targeting them. That's one mild complaint! I am slowly finding any scrap of anything I don't already adore about this game. I can make a reasoned review, I can do it. This music is also slightly loud. That's 2 things that are less than perfect, but also not actually bad and actually really good, and I love them. And this boss fight is mildly more challenging now. And we're running out of MP, we had a slight challenge. It's obviously still very, very doable and very simple, but this is a decent balance enough for tutorial. It's not the best. I think I really liked Cubicle Quest had the best balance so far with a tutorial dungeon. It's a reasonable balance. It's not just like every enemy has no effort whatsoever and then only the boss has some effort. That was a decent one all around. But this, perfectly doable, no complaints. And we got a frost spell with a nice square. Oh, we got an equipment. I think it's an equipment because obviously horses wear horseshoes. Yeah! Okay, it's a weapon, so that should go on the only one of us that's physical attack based so far. Is that the end? Are we really already done with your stupid dungeon? You would think so, but if I recall correctly, they try to go back to the entrance and the entrance isn't there, and then something else spooky happens. And then they're like, oh, something spooky is happening, it might be the main plot! And then something spooky happened, and it was the main plot. Tune in next episode for all of that. Great plot twists, more fun next dungeon, the villain I love, it's all here, and I did indeed go and play the entire game, so expect more episodes after that one. I'm sorry I could not restrain myself, I was having too much fun. Look forward to enjoying that fun with me.